So today I'm going to speak about the important communication chakra, which is called the throat chakra. Roll intro. So welcome back. My name's Matt. I'm from Karnak Holistics, where we learn together and we grow together in the sight of God. So today I'm going to speak about the throat chakra. This is about communication. And the important part of the throat chakra, obviously, is based here. Well, in fact, people think it's based where the Adam's apple is. It isn't actually. It's just at the base, just here, of where your breastplate ends to go to your throat. And that's where your chakra vibrates from. And also the other one that I want to point out with all chakras, which I never said on most of my videos, is that the chakras come out the front and also at the back. So when you're working on your chakras, remember to make sure that you work on your back chakras, because it's not just the front. Now, why is it so important? Let me just go and talk about the rear chakras. Why is it important to work on the rear chakras? Well, the rear chakras is where, if you were to be possessed or controlled or to be entered, the spirit will come behind you and enter from the rear. Now, I do a lot of channeling, and when I do channeling and I let the spirit in, they never ever, unless I reduce my chakras or reduce my protection, in from the front. All my guides either enter from the side or from the rear, which sounds a bit wrong, but it just coming from, it goes from the rear of into your chakras, purely because that's where your mind's eye is focused this way, and all your energy centers are more focused this way and moving forward. So just from the rear. Anyway, moving on. The throat chakra is, the color is blue. Sometimes you can see it's turquoise, and it's really important because, again, I said about communication and lack of communication. I just want to say it's the fifth chakra. So the throat chakra sound is G, and the hertz is 192. Now, when you get blocked, obviously it's based upon communication. Now, one of the big things about communication is it can come through a number of things. It could be for the fact is that you're not coming across, or you're not speaking, or one of the blockages is that you get sore throat, swollen glands. You may feel husky in your voice. You may feel like, like your throat sounds like sandpaper, or feels like sandpaper. She said it sounds like sandpaper. It feels like sandpaper. That's another sign that your chakra is actually blocked. The other thing as well is when you're cleansing it and you're trying to cleanse it, always make sure that you are focusing upon the front and the back part, and always check of the vibration. One of the symptoms that you're blocked as well, in obviously on earth, through how we talk and how we communicate, is a lack of communication, or the fact that we can't communicate with people and people don't seem to be hearing us, or we don't want to talk to people. We want to be more isolated. We want to keep ourselves to ourselves, and sometimes we just want to stay and keep calm and quiet. Now, it's not necessarily where you keep calm and quiet, but you meditate, so therefore your chakra's blocked. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is in a situation where people talk to you and they're kind of like walking all over you, but where you would normally be able to speak back in your defense, you don't. You just keep quiet and you just let people just take advantage. Or you may see someone else having a problem with communication, so you don't actually speak up for them either, because you feel that you don't feel self-worth or self-worthy. Now, the important thing about your communication and the structure of your communication, just having a look at my notes here as well from what I've written, is that you should use the energy chi. Is such a powerful energy, or such a powerful sound to use in order to connect or to repair your chakras. When you are working on your chakras, or your chakras are spinning well, your communications will be really good. It will be, you'll be able to speak up, and you have a good vocal range, and your voice won't cut. It won't cut out. The other thing as well about when it's blocked is that when you're talking, you may talk and then your voice just disappears and comes back again. That's another sign of your chakras are blocked. The other point as well is where you need to focus upon is when your energy is right, or your chakras pulsating correctly, is that you're able to talk and sound very clear without muddling your words. Now, this could be linked, this is when your throat chakra is linked with your mind's eye, or even your crown. And if it's not performing well, that's because that will be the reflection that it's not performing well. Now, the other aspect of the throat chakra is that when you clear your throat and you're speaking and you're trying to talk and get some clarity into your throat chakra, is that you feel that you're not being heard, or you feel that you're trapped, and you feel like you can't kind of like communicate on their level. Now, by and largely, we are in a state of growth and transformation, and communication is such a key. Now, a lot of people these days in our social, in our cyber communication, social media, we have a tendency to hide behind the social media platforms and not actually communicate verbally, or obviously, and we also hide behind texts. So it's kind of like letting that down and picking up the phone and communicating with whoever you want to speak to. Now, in this technology age that we have, it works out good, and it also works out for the negative. But it's important that we work with our chakras. So anyone who's working in some kind of communication environment, or working as a coach or medium or clairvoyant or whatever, where they use their voice, it's important that you always work and keep that chakra clear. Now, as I was growing up, I used to suffer a lot with throat issues and swollen glands. And a part of that was for the fact is that my communication, as I was growing up, my communication wasn't strong. And I was growing up as a dyslexic. And I couldn't get my words across to people to say how I felt. On reflection, I realized that this was the cause of my throat infections and my swollen glands, and it almost got to a point is where my mum was thinking about taking me to get my tonsils removed, because they thought that was the effect of it. But in fact, it wasn't. And as I grew up, I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I realized my issues is that I wasn't communicating what was really troubling me. Until I got a lot older and I started talking to people and saying my views and how I felt and about my situations, that things started shifting for me, and I don't now suffer, not much, whenever I catch the flu. It's rare my throat gets infected. It's normally my nose or the chest, and again, that's going down to because I work a lot from the heart. Remember, the chakras are a pulsating vibration of the energy chi, and when it's in the energy chi is vibrating, it pulsates, so it causes a vibration. And if that vibration comes squashed or contained or distorted, it comes out as effect of illness. Now, until we are able to deal with this vibration and speak about the vibration and really work with this vibration and let chi flow through your body and not let it manifest in these parts, because we are restricting ourselves with the shift of this chi, then we will be able to not be as ill and as sick as we are normally. And the other for the fact is that the other fact is the body, disease is a body not at ease. And that is so true. So if your body's not at ease, it's going to manifest all these other properties and other, almost kind of like a outlet. These chakras become an outlet for your body. And these parts, as I've said in my last video, are symptoms or parts of you that will become kind of like symptomatic and cause all these adjustments, or need adjustments, or don't have reasonable adjustments, and they need to be dealt with. And so if chi's working its way through your body, and it's working its way from the root chakra up to the crown chakra, or vice versa, and some form of, say it's on its way, and then you have some form of trauma, or you recall some form of trauma, this is another effect that will enhance and affect the body, which will make the body not at ease, causing disease. So in essence, yeah, you know what, we all face some form of trauma in our life. We cannot not face that. You know, it is what it is. But the important thing is if we recognize it, we recognize what the problem is, and then we can then deal with the situation, and we can get the healing, and we can therefore recognize that if a trauma has happened, and you look at yourself, you go, are you okay? First thing you do, you check your body to see if you're all right. But if we turn around and we recognize that there's a part of us that needs some kind of adjustment, so if a chakra's out, and we go and get healing for it, or we can heal ourselves, and we're constantly not just doing physical healing, as in exercise, we are doing spiritual healing, as in meditation, and looking at our own chakras and clearing our chakras, it will make the body at ease and not attracting disease. The other thing we have a tendency to do is when we're amongst our friends or our families, and they are being quite negative about people, remember that's a form of communication. And when they're talking negatively about somebody, and we're not aligned with ourselves, we automatically get pulled into that direction, and we then add to that flavor of causing kind of negative talk and dealing and attracting toxic people. So what do? What first thing is every morning you should learn to align yourself automatically. Get up in the morning, just sense your chakras, see where you're sitting, see what's one maybe up because something may happen in it at night, or see where you are at right now. If your chakras are out, line it up. If you meditate every morning or every other morning, make the chakra cleansing or chakra recognition or checking a part of your routine. That will cause so much less headache in the future for you, because once you're kind of like aligning your chakras, the minute it gets whooshed out, you would sense it straight away. So I hope that's helped, and I hope that's going to bring some kind of guidance for you in dealing with these chakras, because it is such a beautiful energy, such a beautiful chakra to work with, because communication is our biggest part of us. So we need to learn to align with it and walk with it, and also embrace it. And then go of those negative blocks in order to build ourselves to a higher plateau. And again, having the right foods. No, not many foods are blue, or turquoise. But so what I'm saying, what you need to do is drink water. That's another powerful thing for your throat. Make sure your throat's always lubricated well. Make sure that it's not in any form of sickness or dry. Make sure it's all looked after, and if you're getting like a greggly throat, start getting your healing done. So I hope this helped, and if you've got any questions, you've got any comments, please like, share and subscribe, and leave your comments below, and I will answer them ASAP. And if not, I'll see you in the next video. And one more thing, please share, because there's going to be somebody, I'm sure, is probably going to be facing an issue with their throat chakra. So I'll see you soon. I'll see you in the next video, where I'll be talking about the mind's eye, which is the third eye. Stay blessed, and namaste.